entering the eerie depths of Chokeslam Radio, where expert insider WWE knowledge and secrets are unleashed with thunderous power.
Rest in peace.
Coming to you live straight from the heart of Death Valley, here are your mysterious hosts, H00pify and DJ Big Unknown.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another brand new episode of Chokeslam Radio. As always, I'm DJ Big Unknown.
And I'm H00pify. Super excited for this episode this week. Let's get right into it.
Yeah, well, we've been talking about it for a couple weeks now. We have a very special guest who's joining us today. He's very well known online. He's somebody who reports on various up and coming athletes around the world and where they're committing and stuff like that. And I'm very excited and honored to have him on the show.
Yeah, we've been following his content for a while. Just happened to reach out to him, and he was super generous to respond to us, and we're super excited to have him on the pod. A bit of a celebrity. We were shocked when he answered and agreed to come on our show, but super excited about it. So yeah.
All right. Without further ado, we'd like to bring on H00pify.
What's up? Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, thank you. We're very, as we've said, we're very excited and very happy that you wanted to join us on the show. I mean, we like to get expertise on athletics from all different types of sports, even outside of the WWE, because, you know, a lot of these athletes cross over and it's a lot of the same thing. So, yeah, we're very, very excited to have you.
Yeah, no, I'm super excited to be on. If you guys don't know me, my name's Henry, but I go on the internet as H00pify, and I cover every up and coming youth athlete.
Yeah, we've seen all of his Instagram reels and TikToks, and you know they're great. He covers all the future athletes, future football players, and potential future WWE superstars as well. As DJ Big Unknown said, there's a lot of crossover between athletes, and you know, when they're young, kids are trying different things out. So, you know, maybe some of these kids are future WWE superstars one day. So great to have him here and great to have his insights.
Yeah, well, I had a question that I've been wondering for a while, and that's what inspired you to start making the videos that you make?
Yeah, so I originally started off just doing solely sports content. So I played lacrosse in college, and I started making TikToks about lacrosse, and then one did well. But lacrosse is such a small sport that I knew I couldn't stay in there forever. So I started making sports content. Then one day, I remember I'd practice at like 5 a.m, and I woke up and I'm like, who DM'd me? And I saw it was Baby Gronk, and I've heard of it before. And I was like, oh, this is weird. His dad's like, oh, make a video about like blah, 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 like make a video about my kid. And I'm sure you've heard the stories of like that one viral, like he DMs like a lot of people. And I was like, yeah, sure. Mm-hmm. And I made the video and it got like 1 million views. And then I was like, oh my gosh, like that's awesome. Especially like at that time too. It was like one of my first viral videos. And then I remember the whole thing that went viral, like Baby Gronk, rizzed up Livy Dawn. We were going to play Albany, and I was on the bus editing that video. And my coach comes up to me, he goes, and this is when no one really knew I was doing TikTok. He goes, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, don't worry about it. It's for a class. And then all of a sudden that video went viral. And then I had like I find people on my own, but I also have like people's kids' parents DM me, like make a video about my kid. And sometimes I do, but sometimes they just want like the clout for their kid, and there's not a lot I could do with it.
Mm-hmm. I know you said you look and scout out all these different kids. I was wondering, like, what are the types of things that you look for as a scout who's reporting somebody? Like, what as as an athlete who's trying to get noticed, what's something that they can do?
Well, that almost sounded creepy that like I'm stalking kids on Instagram, but the main way it works usually is that I'll see a clip of a kid go viral or an athlete. Like it's not just kids, but like I'll see a clip of like someone go viral and I'll be like, okay, like is there like an athletic spin I could put on this? And like I remember there was like you guys remember like the Target tripod guy? Like he would like set up his tripod in Target and like film himself.
Mhm.
Like I found out that he played basketball. So like I made a video about him. I mean, that's the main way. Like if I see a viral video of someone, usually there's more stuff there where I can make a video about them.
Okay. Yeah. I was wondering, so our show is mainly about the WWE, and one guy that you like to report on a lot who was a professional wrestler is Big AJ. I was wondering if we could know a little bit more about like his past and if you think that he would ever join the WWE at some point.
Yeah, so I remember when I first made a video about Big Justice. I saw that he played baseball when they were going viral for like, hey, we're Costco guys, and I saw they went viral. So I'm like, oh, they have the athletic side to them. So I made a video about him playing baseball, and their dad ended up DMing me, giving me his number, and he said I used to professionally wrestle or semi-pro wrestle, and he sent me a whole clips of him wrestling. And I was like, geez. Like some of the stuff was pretty intense, and I didn't make a video about it. But as they got more and more popular, I'm like, people want to know the story. So I made a video about him professionally wrestling or wrestling amateur wrestling, and he's actually hopping back in the ring again in about 2 months. I think it's sometime in October maybe. So yeah, I would love to see him in the WWE. I think it'd be pretty funny to see him wrestling.
Yeah, it sounds like that's something that we're going to need to report on our show and watch that closely going forward.
For sure. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty funny. I mean, I know that I don't follow WWE that closely, but I see they bring out people all the time, and they're getting to the point where, hey, maybe one day they can go on for one thing, and he can have a short wrestling match or something. Because I remember a while ago, I used to be like obsessed with the Ball family. And one time they brought out LeVar Ball, LaMelo Ball, Lonzo Ball, and it was pretty funny.
Yeah. And even like WWE is definitely really interested in social media. I mean, they post like crazy, and they've had a lot of influencers on like H00pify. So I think it's very possible, if Big AJ really does have the talent, which it looks like he does, that that they would want to collaborate in some way. I don't know about like a full contract signing, but maybe like an appearance or two.
Yeah, I was thinking that too, because he has the basics down. And the good thing about Big AJ and Big Justice is that they're very family friendly and there's no real brand risk with them. So you put them out there, it's not too risky that they're going to go and do something off the rails and get canceled on live TV.
Yeah. So how does that work? You have basically the Costco guys and Baby Gronk. They're both sort of friends with you, but they're also both mortal enemies. So I'm wondering, like, have they ever tried to make you take a stance on this, or have you tried to remain neutral in their rivalry?
So originally, when the Costco guys first went viral, I was trying to connect them with each other because they're the youth star athletes. And actually, the original plan was to kind of do something WWE-esque and have a fake boxing match between Baby Gronk and Big Justice. And I think that would have been hilarious and would have done numbers, but they couldn't figure out a time to meet. And then the plans just fell through. But I think that would have been so funny, because if you watch my first video about, I think it was Baby Gronk versus Big Justice, I end the video kind of teasing it, saying, should Baby Gronk box Big Justice? But then nothing ever came of it.
Well, I know that's something that I would love to see. Maybe since it didn't work out this time, maybe the WWE or one of these other, fighting companies might try to make that happen.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe in a few years down the line, when they grow up, they can hop in the ring.
Yeah. I'm wondering, you make a lot of videos talking about prime hydration, and that's a very big part of the WWE community. I was wondering, I know you are sort of like a prime expert, but do you also drink prime yourself?
Yeah, I do. So I used to drink it a lot during like the school year because I'm not sponsored by Prime, but I'm part of like they send out Prime to people. Some you can sign up for it, and like if you make content, they'll send you Prime. So they used to send me, they still send me stuff, but they used to like during the school year they sent me a bunch of Prime Energy, and I would have one before every lacrosse practice to get me going. But then I just kind of wanted to pump back on like the caffeine and stuff because I was like almost becoming too reliant on Prime. And then I was like looking one day, I was like kind of twitching for it. I'm like, this probably isn't the best thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of our viewers have been saying that the WWE wrestlers like Logan Paul, they like to carry around Prime, but it's actually just full of water. I was wondering, like, um, I know you're not sponsored by Prime, but they have sent you stuff in the past. But I was wondering, like, do you know anything about this? Like, are they actually drinking water, or is it real Prime? Or what? Like, what would you do if you were an athlete?
Um, I'm not completely sure about that. And I will say the flavors are like on two ends of the spectrum. Like I think there's like two flavors that are really good, but they've also sent me some flavors that are not good at all. And it's funny because I give them to my roommates and they all have different opinions on the flavors. Like some I really like, they really hate, and some I really like, they hate. And I think that's kind of just how it works. But I could see them, like, I don't know, they don't drink it that much, like when they have it. So I think it could just be the normal flavor. But I get interested, like, what they put in it at, like, WrestleMania because they have, like,
Mhm.
WrestleMania edition primes. I just think, like, those are probably filled with water or just, like, basic prime flavors. Like, I don't think they make a specific flavor for that event.
Yeah, I mean, I was at WrestleMania 40, and I'm a big Prime fan, so I was looking for it, but I couldn't find it anywhere. So I don't know where they were actually um, handing that out, or I don't know.
What
Maybe
was
it was
the,
just made up.
what was the most recent WrestleMania? Was it
40.
40? Oh, okay, yeah. No, because I think they were giving some away at that event, but it wasn't like there was like a specific place you had to go. Because I remember I saw a video on
Okay,
TikTok. Yeah,
interesting. Well, we're hoping to go to the next WrestleMania, and if they keep it up, they'll probably release another Prime then. So we'll make sure to look out for it.
yeah,
But
yeah. I was nervous with them for a little bit because I don't know if you saw someone tried to cancel Prime because they said like microplastics and stuff inside of them, but I don't know. I think it's kind of blown over at this point.
yeah, I saw a video of Logan Paul like reacting to that, and he was basically saying that like this is all false information and that they're gonna sue them. So
Yeah.
um, yeah. DRW15, do you have any questions for our guests?
Um, let me see here. You covered a lot of the important topics. Yeah, that was good. I have one game I thought we could play. It was actually inspired. I was going through your TikTok and some of your old TikToks. It's one of those games where she's a 10, but and then it's
Yeah.
something like that. So I thought we could play with. I have two different characters, and I thought DJ Big Unknown and H00pify could both kind of comment on these. So, all right,
Let's
for
do
the
it.
first person, she's a 10, but she has a bit of a shady background. She some people say she's an ex-convict. We're not sure if that's true or not, but she definitely has a bit of a shady past.
I would say like a 5. You can't. I would find it hard to trust someone who's been kind of like moving around in the shadows and stuff.
Yeah.
You'd be a little suspect.
That's fair.
I would say an 8 because
An 8.
I'm also a paranormal researcher, so I like a little bit of mystery, but also that is a little bit scary. So I don't want to be like murdered or anything. So that's why
Mhm.
it's not going to stay at the 10 for me.
Yeah, that's that's fair. She's a 10, but she really likes chicken nuggets, like a lot.
I would say an 8. I mean, I like chicken nuggets, but if you
Yeah.
like really like chicken nuggets and that's all we're eating for dinner every night, then I'd probably get a little annoyed.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I would say 7 just because I mean chicken nuggets are really good, but I would only want it every once in a while, not every day. So
Yeah, that's fair. I agree with both those. And then the last one for this person, she's a 10, but she's really really close with her mommy.
I see this one's tough because you don't want like her mom there all the time. Like if she can't make a decision without her mom, like that'd be kind of annoying. I'll go 7.
I would say 8 because you know it depends. Like if the mom is hot, then that's a plus. But I don't know. I wouldn't want the mom like involved with like everything that I do.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
if you're trying to make a decision, she's like making a decision for your relationship.
Yeah.
Need to set some boundaries in that case, I think, for sure. All right. So that was person number 1. Person number 2, she's a 10, but she only wears black and wears a hat everywhere that she goes.
I mean, I can't really judge because I wear a hat literally everywhere I go,
Fair.
and it's not something I like. But black too. That's kind of. Is she goth? I don't know. I don't think it would annoy me that much. I'll keep it a 10.
Okay.
I'm gonna go 9 because it just depends on. It honestly depends on the hat. Like if it's a cool hat, then I'll stay at a 10. But I don't know. Most hats are kind of weird, so I'm gonna keep it at 9.
Yeah.
But I'm fine with girls who dress up in all black. I think that's pretty cool.
Okay, we're digging the hat. All right. She's a 10, but she kind of always shows up unexpectedly. Like out of nowhere, she'll just kind of show up and be there. And you're like, where did you come from?
Yeah, that's a no-go for me. That's like a 3. I mean, if you're just if you have plans and you're like hanging out with your friends or you're just like trying to get work done or something, you don't want to be surprised. Like I don't know. It doesn't annoy me hanging out, but you don't want to be shocked. Then you're like, oh, like I got to change all my plans and everything.
At least text before you're coming over.
Yeah.
I kind of like the element of like always having to be on your toes. That may seem annoying at first, but after a while, it might actually be a good thing because, when we've seen it in the WWE, an adversary could show up at any point. So, although I'm gonna go with 8 because I don't think it would be very enjoyable, but it would be a good thing for me.
Wow, different perspective there. I like it. All right, last one for this person. She's a 10, but her brother is huge and scary and obsessed with fire.
Geez, I mean that's just intimidating. I'll go 9. It's not the worst thing in the world. I mean, it seems like her brother cares for her, but I would definitely be a little scared walking into that house.
I'm just gonna say 9 because I don't know. I feel like that's somebody who I would kind of like be friends with because I'm also huge and scary and like fire. But just in case they were evil, that would be pretty bad. So that's why I'm going to keep it at a 9.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, and if you guys had to pick between person 1 and person 2, who are we choosing? What are we thinking?
Okay, so let me preface this by saying I have a girlfriend who I love very much.
Yeah.
But if I had to choose, I would choose person 1. I think, just having like the chicken nugget issue might be a little bit of a problem, but I wouldn't want to. I think that's fine. I'd get over it eventually.
Okay. How about you, Big Unknown?
I'm gonna go with person 2, just because. I mean, I don't know if it would be more. It would be like the most perfect relationship, but I feel like it would be like in the long run, like it would be something that's like a great relationship, like looking back on. But maybe in the moment, it's like, oh, this is a little stressful.
Yeah.
Definitely be a little spicy for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, if that's what you're looking for, then great. Well, thank you guys for playing. Person 1 was ex-con Dominic Mysterio, and then person 2 is actually The Undertaker. So now, in retrospect, would you change your decision, or are you sticking with it?
I gotta stick with it. I can't. I think the brother would be too intimidating for me. I would be scared. I'd be like, oh, if I do one thing wrong, I'm toast.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think if there was like a version of The Undertaker that was a hot girl, I probably would be interested in dating her and kind of seeing where it goes. I don't know if it would work, but yeah, I'm going to stick with that.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I would want to date The Undertaker. We saw him at WrestleMania take out The Rock, but I think it's hard to get past his appearance. But maybe once you get to know him a little bit better, anything's possible.
Yeah, nothing can stop love.
No, yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, I have a couple videos that we could react to if you guys are interested. And I just have 3 pretty short 1-minute videos to watch. How does that sound?
Yeah, sounds
All
good.
right, let's do it.
Cool.
So this first video is coming from Brutus Creed. He's a WWE fighter who has recently teamed up with this bad guy named Chad Gable. So let's watch the video.
We're gonna find out what's better, bagel bites or pizza roll. If you smell what they're cooking, I'm gonna eat the pizza roll first. Just by looking at it though, you can tell the breading's a little different, but then again, it was developed from a Chinese egg roll. Remember that. The smell's there, it smells like pizza. Thank the Lord it's not too hot when I first just threw it in there. That was dangerous, because sometimes it's just hot. But that one luckily sat a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of bursting with flavor. Now I'm getting the pepperoni taste a little bit. That's not bad. But over here we got the bagel bites, the competition. Look at that. That's a bagel. And yes, it bites. All right. Right away, the breading on the bagel bite, 10 times better. I love bagels. 10 times better with the breading already, I can tell. And that just hit me wham, right off the bat. So in terms of breading, the bagel bite already wins. I feel like it's just better. I'm gonna give bagel bites, the bagel bites, they're gonna get a 7 out of 10. And for the pizza rolls, the pizza rolls are gonna get a 6 out of 10, man. I just don't think they're better than the bagel bites. But let me know what you think. Tune in next time for Big Brutus Bites.
So what are you guys' thoughts on that?
Well, first off, I agree. I'm team bagel bites all the way over pizza rolls. I liked it. Sounded like kind of sounded like Big AJ a little bit with the boom and the bites.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's an interesting point. I think maybe he might be a fan of Big AJ because they've been doing the Boomer Doom reviews for a while, and I don't know, maybe he's trying to I don't know, I don't want to say copy him, but he's definitely seemed inspired.
Yeah, I think inspired is a good way to put it, but it is interesting that I would be pretty confident that he does watch Big AJ. So I would love to hear Big AJ's take on that. You know, that could be a potential match in the future in the WWE if these guys come in for Big AJ's content. You know, they've got similar builds too, so it'd be a powerful match for sure.
Yeah, I'd be down to see that for sure.
Yeah, I could even see maybe Big AJ could join up with Chad Gable and his group if they decide to become friends. And like, I don't know, because maybe Big AJ might be proud about that, but I don't know. They seem like positive people, but I know they were getting in beef recently with a different what's her name? Los Pollos?
Yeah, Los Pollos and his dad. They got mad. They made up though. They said they called him the Rizzler to handle it.
Okay, interesting. Oh, that's a good point. I wanted to ask you about the Rizzler because he's kind of like this mysterious figure that no one had really heard about, and then just like it seemed like a couple of weeks ago he started showing up in videos online. Do you know anything about like where the Rizzler came from and who he is?
No, I've been trying to figure that out too. I don't know. Like, I don't think they're related. I'm like 99% sure they aren't related. But I think he lives in New Jersey, and that's where Big AJ and Big Justice are originally from. And then they moved down to Florida. And the Rizzler went viral he was like in a Black Panther suit, and then went viral for that. So I think that when they went up to New Jersey, they hit him up and were like, "Do you want to make a video with us?" And the rest is history.
Interesting. Yeah, because that's something that a lot of people are kind of curious about is how the dynamics work with Rizzler. I do think it's possible that maybe he could be, you know, the puppet master behind all this.
It all leads back to the Rizzler.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think that Brutus Creed had a good, you know, food review. A lot of people might be like, "Oh, why is he messing around? He's supposed to be like a serious fighter." But I mean, I think, you know, he's not acting that serious, but this is a serious video. You know, these athletes, especially like wrestlers and like football players and stuff, they have to eat a lot. They have to eat probably like 3 or 4 times more than the average person. So their expertise on, you know, food and cuisine and stuff, I feel like has a lot more value than like a famous chef like Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah, I don't know if bagel and pizza bites are sufficient for, you know, being a star in the WWE, but if it's worked for him, good for him. He is, as I said, a pretty big and bulky guy. So, you know, to get those extra calories might be important for him. So I'm glad he's found some foods he's passionate about, and he's posting those reviews online for us to see. So that's cool. Good for him.
All right. Well, let's get into the next video here.
Somebody finally got leads.
Team Shannon on an extended 20-9 run. Monaco was about to give out some hardware, then they decided to continue playing.
It becomes a problem. It's over. Oh, we saw a dunk. J. Cole rising up.
Remember, get your votes in.
Jimmy Allen.
Allen, I think that a 6'3" power forward before.
You Usain Bolt on a literal fast break. Yeah. Oh, Usain Bolt! 9.58 Jamaica in the in front of company.
Well, I was pretty shocked to first see that video because it really just goes to show what we've been talking about for weeks now, that you have all these different athletes from across all these different sports, and even when you're playing something like basketball, which isn't really related to wrestling, you still see how a pro wrestler's athletic ability totally is dominant over all these other like elite athletes, like Usain Bolt, for example.
Yeah, I know there's a big debate that always goes around about, if professional football players could play in the MLB or if NBA players could play. But I think the real question is, could any other professional athletes do what WWE superstars do? And I think that video shows, maybe not. If Miz is number one above guys like Puka Nacua and Usain Bolt, it just shows that they're on a different level than some of these other athletes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think any of these NBA players could survive the WWE. Like, I don't know, can you, like, they cry after every time they get fouled. Like,
Yeah, although I do think that Bronny James could probably be in the WWE. I think that would be exciting to see, as well as Caitlin Clark.
well, Bronny might need to join the WWE in a few years if the basketball thing doesn't work out. But you know what? I'll give him his credit. He played well in just like his last two summer league games. Mm-hmm. So who knows?
Yeah, we don't see the father-son duos in the NBA a lot, but we do see it a lot in the WWE. So if this doesn't work out with Bronny and LeBron in the NBA, there's always the option for them to go to the WWE.
Yeah, can you imagine if Bronny completely tanks in the NBA, then he has to go to the WWE? Then, like in 10 years, LeBron comes out for a match.
Yeah,
that'd be hilarious.
Yeah, I know. In the past, we've seen Shaq in WWE in, I think it was a battle royale. So, and I think he also fought the current world champion Cody Rhodes back when they were in AEW. So we've been saying that Shaq should come back to WWE at least as a manager, but that's another great example of an NBA player being in the WWE. But I mean, that's Shaq. That's like the best of the best in the NBA. Like an average NBA player, I don't see that happening.
Yeah,
but especially soccer players. I don't think a soccer player would last 5 seconds in the WWE. They'd probably get injured before they even enter the ring, just stubbing their toe, walking down the ramp.
No, yeah, I was talking about NBA players being flops. I don't really watch soccer that much, but I turned on the Copa America the other day to watch Team USA, and they were on the ground every 2 seconds. It was so hard to watch. So they would crumble in a WWE ring.
Yeah, we watched the finals, and we tried to play a game a little bit where you drank every time someone went down, and you had to keep drinking until they got back up. And we didn't last very long playing that game because once those guys go down, they roll around and they stay down. And yeah, that definitely wouldn't fly in the WWE. So just different athletes, different mentality.
Yeah. We don't recommend to our viewers to play that game unless you are drinking Prime. So yeah. Anyways, I got one more video here. I thought we could break down. Here we go.
We have a par 5 here at my home course. I absolutely pipe this drive, center of the fairway. Just getting it up there. 3-wood, all right, hitting it well. Let's go. Let's get another one up there. All right. I'm not actually trying to go for the green here because I want to give myself a good chip. make sure I can get this one close. And it just runs out a little too far for my liking, but I hit it pretty well. And I didn't see this break at the very end. It looked pretty straight, but it's an unfortunate bogey.
Yeah, I know that's not really WWE related, but I know that we do see a lot of miniature people in the world of wrestling. So I thought it would be cool to see how they would perform on a golf course and break that down.
Yeah, I know Hornswoggle is the longtime legend in the WWE. But yeah, it was cool. It's cool to see in other sports as well.
Oh, you're muted, H00pify.
Yeah, sorry, there's thunder around me right now, so I'm trying to time it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did see there was a miniature wrestling league. I got an ad for that on YouTube the other day. Definitely looked interested.
Yeah, we were trying to go. We were in the Lake Tahoe area for 4th of July, and they had they call it Micromania there. So we were trying to go, but our plans didn't really line up with that.
Yeah, no, it's definitely seemed it's cool. It definitely seemed entertaining.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I had a new segment that I've never done before on this show, and I'm realizing now that it might be a copy of kind of what Big Justice and Big AJ do, but that's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and announce this new segment. It's called High Flying Flavors. So let's get into it. All right, so on this first episode of High Flying Flavors, I'm going to be reviewing the new WWE Prime.
Oh, nice.
I've been looking all over the country for these things, and I finally found some in a GNC. So I have not tried this yet, so I'm going to give it a try right now and give it a boom or a doom. Yeah, that's definitely like a lot of Prime flavors I don't think taste very good. This one definitely tastes really good, and I think it might be the best. I'll have to finish the whole bottle, but from that drink right there, I think it's going to be my new favorite Prime flavor. It almost tastes like, here, let me give it another sip. It almost tastes like, it tastes like banana and like pineapple kind of combined. It tastes really good, and I know that, you know, they tweaked the recipe perfect for professional wrestling and like beating people up and stuff. So, yeah, if I ever am about to get into a fight or something, I'm definitely gonna drink one of these before I go. But I'm gonna give it a boom.
That's the best. Yeah, I haven't tried that flavor yet, so I'll have to give it a try.
Yeah, we've been looking for it for a while, but it's hard to come by. So I'm glad you're able to find one Big Unknown. We might have to change the boom or doom. I don't want to totally copy Big AJ's thing, but we can come up with something for Chokeslam Radio specific. But
so I was thinking that like this is the first episode, so I can't do this yet, but I was thinking that we'll make like a chart that's like the ranking of like every food or drink that I try that week, and then I like rank it where I think it is on the chart, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger every week.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah. And then also when I was looking for this Prime, I also found this UFC 300 Prime. Is this a rare one?
Yeah, those are. I didn't know they sold those. Yeah,
Really?
I remember when I was like kind of doing research, and scouting the Prime bottles. I thought they were only sold at WWE events and UFC events, but I guess they're making their way to stores now. So that's kind of cool. I don't know what that would taste like.
Because the store that I was at, I didn't think this one was that rare because they had like boxes and boxes of them, and they were selling them like on discount. So I figured it's like not that rare, even though I'd never seen them before. But I only bought this one. I probably should have bought more.
Yeah, I got to try that one. I'm interested.
Yeah, I'll save that for another week to review. So make sure you hit subscribe, and you can see me review it in the future. But yeah, so last week I participated in the Prime X treasure hunt, and that's actually how I won this T-shirt. Yeah, so I saved up. I bought like a ton of the Prime X's, and I got enough points. I got 72 points, so I got enough points to get the T-shirt and the Glitch Elixir Prime. But I didn't realize that if you save up enough points, I think it's 125 points, which I wasn't really that far from. I was over halfway. I could have got a they call it signature serum. It's like an exclusive flavor, and it's signed by KSI and Logan Paul.
Oh wow, that would have been cool.
Yeah, I probably should have done that, but I think this Glitch Elixir, it hasn't arrived yet. I only got the shirt, but I think it should be also pretty rare. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, no, that'd be cool. I like the shirt. I was gonna say something earlier, but I didn't know if it was Prime or not.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, I guess DRW15. Do you have any final questions for H00pify? I was thinking we could get into breaking down the latest episodes of WWE.
No, I don't think I got anything else. As we said when we started, we were pretty shocked and a little bit starstruck when you answered our DMs because we love all your videos. Yeah, they're always the first ones that come up on our reels. So I really appreciate you. Really appreciate you coming out and doing this with us.
No, thanks for having me. Thanks for watching my content. I really appreciate it. No, this is really fun. I like I like the game.
Yeah, I like that too. Maybe we'll have to continue doing that with our guests.
Yeah, and we hope to see maybe a WWE or a wrestling themed video from you in the future.
Yeah, so actually I was thinking about this before I go. I got a DM the other day from this parent of a kid, and he goes, I have the best wrestler, future WWE star. Check out my page. So I'll check him out, and who knows, maybe we'll have Baby Undertaker.
Yeah, send us the stuff, and we'll review it on, or maybe we'll review your.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'll get your input on it.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome.
Yeah, sweet. All right. Well, I mean, feel free to stick around if you want. We're just gonna be. I don't know if you've been keeping up with WWE recently, but there's a lot of stuff going on that our viewers are wanting us to break down. So I think we'll get into that now. But
yeah, I gotta run. But thank you guys so much for having me.
Yeah. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, no,
sure, that was a lot of fun. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it too. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah.
All right, let's give it up for H00pify.
Yeah. We've talked about it before. We get a lot of guests on the show who have great input on what it takes to be a wrestler and to do well in that business. But I think H00pify is our first who, extends to all sports, and he's really scouting out the future talent for not only to the WWE but some of those other big sports as well. So that was great, and we're super grateful that he was able to come on with us.
Yeah, and yeah, you heard it here. Like if any of you listeners are wanting to go to the WWE and you're training right now, send your stuff to H00pify and he'll make a video about you, and that's probably how you're gonna get the most eyes on you. And how if you want to go to WWE or AEW or wherever, I don't know why you would want to go to AEW, but that's where you gotta that would be a great way. I mean, hey, I might send some of my clips to him, of my security guard work. But yeah.
Yeah, as you guys heard, he said, Baby Gronk and Big Justice and all of them DM'd him to share their videos, and now everyone knows who those guys are. So if you're looking to be a superstar, H00pify's the guy to go to. And yeah, DJ Big Unknown only has a few clips of himself in the ring, but I don't know if he wants to get more. Yeah, get back into it.
Honestly, I don't know who. Honestly, anybody could be watching this right now, so I'll just say it. But I'm living in the Washington, D.C. area right now, and I would totally train to be a wrestler. Like, I want to do it, but I don't know anywhere around here to train. I've done a ton of research. I can't find anything. I was training with Supreme Pro Wrestling in Sacramento before I moved out here. So, and I don't have a car. So if you're like far outside of the D.C. area, I'm probably not going to do it. But there's no way anyone will anyone who's listening would actually know that. But just putting that out there.
Yeah. Well, I will say you got to be careful drinking that WWE Prime, because I know that gets you in the mood and the mindset to kick some ASS in the ring. So if you're drinking that and you're not getting in the ring, watch out if you're walking the streets of DC, because that could be dangerous. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, it's almost like with this stuff, I don't even really need to train. That's a good point. Like, yeah. If I drink enough of this, I could probably just show up to one of their tryouts and see what I can do.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. That's the power of Prime, and WWE Prime at that. Yeah.
Yeah. I found a amateur wrestling school near me, and I tried that out for a day. It was like, I could do like a free session. Mm-hmm. So I did it. Like, I have no amateur wrestling experience. Like, I know a couple holds from like pro wrestling, but it's pretty different. And then we just did drills for like 2 minutes or like 20 minutes or whatever. And then basically the rest of the hour was just going one-on-one against like random guys. And I was just getting destroyed. And I told the coach, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. You really want me to go, like, I've never wrestled before. You want me to go like fight this dude right now one-on-one? Mm-hmm. And yeah, I got destroyed. But if we were in a ring or something, it would have been toast for them. Yeah, I would have suplexed them.
Yeah, it's different wrestling with amateurs like that versus real wrestling in the ring in the WWE. When I was in high school, we did a little bit of like wrestling training because they said it was going to help us tackle, but definitely not the same as what these WWE athletes go through. But yeah. You finish that?
All right. Anyways, I'm getting a little tired of the WWE right now. Honestly, like, it's been the same thing. Like, every show's been the same thing over and over again every week, mm-hmm. with like slight changes, and the matches are getting like so predictable because it's easy to tell like when the security guards are gonna FUCK up. Like, because they never stop anything. So you know that if a guy has beef with someone and they go in a fight with someone else, it's like a 90% chance that they're going to run in and stop the fight. So it's like, why am I even watching this? So that's why I'm getting a little sick and tired. And it's like, Adam Pearce is the worst, but Nick Aldis is pretty bad at managing his show also. Like, mm-hmm. For example, on SmackDown, it was Bianca Belair and Chelsea Green were both in line to go schedule a match, which makes sense. Like, it should be the general managers scheduling matches, so it makes sense like mm-hmm. why they're in line. And then they're like, "Oh, you're in line to schedule a match? I'm in line to schedule a match too. I was here first." They're fighting over that, and then they're like, "Fine, why don't we settle this in the ring?" And it's like, "Oh, well, if you could just schedule matches like that on your own, then why are you even in line in the first place?" What about, like, it makes no sense. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. No, exactly. If you like, why are you waiting to ask the manager if you can schedule a match when you could literally just go up to the fighter and be like, "Hey, you want to fight?" You know,
Yeah.
like it's ridiculous. But like another thing, yeah, like Sheamus showed up before that match even started on Monday night, and of course Braun Breaker shows up again and spears Sami Zayn. Like if I'm a wrestler right now, I'm pissed, and I don't even want to fight because the match is never just you against the person that you're scheduled to fight against. It's you against that person, then whoever else in the company doesn't like you, and it's wrestling. So of course there's going to be beef going on, but every single match, someone shows up and thinks that they have a right to, you know, just beat the heck out of you when you're not expecting it, and that goes back on the managers and the security teams because
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah,
Week
there's
after week.
absolutely like no control over these shows. Like
Mhm.
somebody's gonna die at some point. I mean, Ricochet might be dead. Kale Dixon might be dead too. I haven't heard from these guys in forever. Like
Yeah,
at some point, someone is gonna die, and it's gonna be because they've been too lazy to take control of this show.
yeah. And we heard Otis talking to Chad Gable, and in that conversation, they were talking about how these hackers are after Chad Gable, and they've just accepted it at this point. Like they know that they're not going to get protected by the security teams, and
Yeah.
you know it's affecting like relationships and the way that people want to fight in the ring because they're like, well, we know that if we're in a fight with Chad Gable, these hackers are going to show up, ruin everything, and like attack people, and the WWE is not going to do anything about it. So like at this point, like I can't tell you the last time that like just a normal match happened without someone showing up and ruining things, you know?
I know. And like Adam Pierce is having meetings with these hackers now. They're selling their merch, they're playing like their videos on TV every week. The security guards are just letting them walk in every time. It's like, they just like murdered like 20 people. Like, what was that? That was only like 2 months ago. No one
Yeah,
cares anymore. It's
I know.
stupid. It's like, I don't know. If I was a wrestler right now, I would definitely request to be traded to SmackDown. If I was on Raw, because I mean, SmackDown's still pretty bad, but it's not as bad. Like, I mean, you have the Bloodline to deal with, but they have a lot better security over there and stuff. But there was that one girl who got kicked in the head pretty hard by which one was he? Jacob Fatu, right?
Yeah. Well, she wasn't even like, I think she was just like a camera lady or something like that. Like not even at all in part of the match, but just, I think that's on security team a little bit too. You know, you gotta keep distance between the fighters and the fans and the staff. And there was no security guard nearby, and Jacob Fatu went flying into the stands and kicked some poor lady in the head. WWE didn't say anything about that either. They're not.
Yeah,
Apparently
being
they're not
a
worried about it.
wrestling security guard is a lot different than being like a bank security guard. Like
Yeah.
a big part of it, like when I was doing it, was pretty much like 90% of what I did was blocking the crowd from getting hit. Because like obviously if like a wrestler gets attacked by another wrestler, like that's bad, but that's not the priority to stop. The main priority is to protect the audience, because if one of them gets hurt, they could sue.
Yeah.
So basically 90% of my job was to be like a human shield pretty much. And that's what they teach these guys to do.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely a lot of crowd control. And I think it goes both ways too, because with guys like Chad Gable, in all these other countries, if he's constantly getting thrown towards the crowd, if I'm a security guard, I'm making sure to stay in between them because I know these fans are pissed off at him. He's almost started wars between these countries. So, I wouldn't be surprised if a fan tries to throw hands with him or something like that. And we've seen guys like Patrick Mahomes give weapons to wrestlers in the ring. So,
Oh my gosh, forgot about that.
Yeah. Like at a certain point as a security guard, like you don't want to be known. It's kind of like being like a ref or something in a different league. Like the best you can do is to stay out of the way and have people not question, what's the security guards doing. And I don't think that they're because we talk about them every week on our show. You know, the show is supposed to be about the wrestlers and the fights going on in the ring, but it seems like we keep having to come back to the failures by the security team and by Adam Pearce to protect the fighters. You know, and that's not what we want to see week after week. You know, once in a while, I get it happens and it can add to the show. But if it happens like every single match, like it just gets annoying, you know?
I know, I'm sick of it. I'm at the point where, I mean, I can't stop watching WWE because this is my job to report on it. But at this point, I want to switch to AEW or maybe Micromania or something. But I'm so sick of watching. Like, there's other wrestling companies that I can watch that's not WWE. So I don't know. I just feel, I don't know. The only people that are really like interesting to watch right now are the Bloodline, and that's including Jey Uso. I mean, he's not really part of the Bloodline, but I still count him as the Bloodline.
Yeah, well, I mean, it seems like that's kind of been the same thing every week too. It's like the Bloodline has just been kicking Cody Rhodes' ASS week after week, you know? And I know Cody Rhodes is still the champion, but like, come on, dude. Like every single week he goes out there and he gets embarrassed by the Bloodline. And at this point, I think the only person that can stop them is Roman Reigns. I still don't know where he is, but I think Cody's made it pretty clear, you know, he can't take on the Bloodline. So something's got to give, but Cody's not looking like a true champion right now. Maybe he needs a prime.
Well, he'll really have to prove himself against Solo at SummerSlam. I know that Solo has the entire Bloodline backing him up, but you know, Cody at least has KO and Randy Orton, but I think they're both out. Didn't KO and Randy both get injured by the Bloodline?
Yeah, that's what I'm not sure, but yeah, that's what's been going on every week. They get their like behinds kicked by the Bloodline. Yeah, I think they made Cody like sit there and watch as they beat the heck out of KO. And we still don't know what happened with Paul Heyman, but the Bloodline's kind of running SmackDown right now, and it doesn't seem like there's anyone on that roster that can stop them. We need to send Braun Breaker over there because you know, he's going crazy on Raw. I don't know why they scheduled him against Ilya Dragunov. That was a jump show.
We already saw that.
We've seen that match like so many times. Every time Ilya Dragunov gets his butt kicked, he couldn't even finish the match this time. He got hurt halfway through. They had to call the match. So like, if I'm Adam Pearce, we talked about it last week. Like Ilya Dragunov, he's got to be on drugs or something because he keeps, you know, requesting these crazy matches week after week and doing all these crazy movements, and then he just gets his behind kicked every time.
Yeah. You can't just keep giving this guy matches if he's too lazy to even finish them. And like, it's obvious he's on drugs. Like, I don't think he should be getting all this screen time and attention because in the past, like when pro wrestlers are on drugs, they kind of try to keep it secret and just kind of keep going. And then things get worse and worse and worse until something really bad happens. And the same thing right now is kind of happening to Ilya Dragunov. And I hope that they can, you know, correct this. I know it looked like he got a bad concussion yesterday, so maybe they'll have him sit out, but I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But I do want to get like someone who's an expert on like street drugs and stuff like that to try to diagnose like what his problem is and like how we can help him, because I'll be honest, like I don't really know much about this. It's just obvious that like this dude is definitely not sober.
Yeah, I made a TikTok about it last week and everyone in the comments was mad saying that's just his character. And it's like, I've seen this dude run around with a bright red face, like biting the rope, doing this every time he walks into the ring. Like, I don't know what weird character people think he's trying to play, but it's obviously a problem. And now, as Big Unknown said, it's escalating a little bit. Like, he's not even finishing matches. He definitely looked pretty unwell after that spear by Braun Breaker. I mean, valid. Like, no one wants to get speared by Braun Breaker. So maybe they'll keep him under close watch this week. He's probably going to be under concussion protocol. I don't know if it was a concussion or a reaction to the drugs, but you know, either way, hopefully they'll be watching him closely and he can get the help he needs this coming week. Maybe give him a week off they'll pull a Drew McIntyre.
Yeah. Yeah. Freaking Drew McIntyre. Anyways, yeah, that's other. Oh, don't even get me started on Drew McIntyre. So he shows up. He's been whining for, it feels like the past like 5 months. He's just been crying every single week about how he wants to fight CM Punk, but he can't. There's like all these excuses. CM Punk finally shows up and wants to fight him, and he's like, I don't want to fight you. And he's like, he gives that like little like shithead smirk that he always gives. He's like, I don't want to fight you. And then it's like, yeah, you do. You're, oh my God. It's just so annoying. It's like,
Yeah.
I really can't stand this guy.
And then he's complaining about Seth Rollins being the special guest ref. Like, why? You're lucky to even have a match, and now you're mad about this too. He's mad about everything all the time, and he's basically gotten everything he wants. Like, he lost his Money in the Bank real quick, and now he has another match against CM Punk, who he's wanted to fight for a long time, and he's still just sitting there complaining week after week. And I think it was just last week when he was talking about like CM Punk, this is the biggest match ever for me. Like, this is the most important thing that's ever happened to me in my life. And now he's still complaining about it. It's like, get this dude off our screens. He hasn't even fought in a long time. He won the Money in the Bank and then got beat up after that and has just cried ever since. So
yeah, Drew McIntyre is like the guy who wins big in the casino and then he bets like all his money again right away because he thinks he's gonna win again and then loses it all.
Yeah. Yep.
And then he blames everyone else for it. But yeah, I think if usually I would be kind of concerned about a guest referee because it seems like there could be a lot of bias going on and stuff like that. But I think that if anyone deserves to be a guest referee, it's Seth freaking Rollins because he pretty blatantly got screwed out of winning that last match. I mean, he should have won that match and the referee was paid off, or maybe he was on drugs too. I don't know. Something happened with that ref. Seth Rollins should be world heavyweight champion right now, and he's not. So I think he deserves this. What I did find interesting was that ref that messed it up in Money in the Bank. Instead of them firing him, he ref the main event last night.
Yeah, I mean, I guess everyone deserves second chances, but like, you're gonna throw him in the main event? Like, really throw him in the Ilya Dragunov match? Actually, that probably wouldn't be good because Ilya actually like needed the ref to stop it, and this ref clearly doesn't know when a match ends. But yeah, I don't know. It's a weird twist of fate for Seth Rollins to get screwed over by the ref, and now he's going to be reffing another match. So we'll see how he takes it because, we'll see if he refs it fairly or not, because I know he's got a bit of beef with both these guys, but there's just a weird like love triangle going on between Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins, and CM Punk right now. And it'll be an interesting dynamic when that match happens.
Yeah. One thing I do hate, and this goes for all sports, I know this happens a lot in soccer, and even when I grew up like playing Little League, this would happen a lot. And that's when the ref tries to make the game or the sport all about themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like Seth Rollins, he always likes to be at the center of attention. So even if it is like a pretty fair match, which it's not going to be, but let's say if they have like good sportsmanship on both sides, I feel like Seth Rollins is still going to try to do something to get everyone talking about him.
Yeah. Yeah. And the match isn't even for anything because none of them have any belts. So it's just a weird match. Like, no one really has anything to gain from this match except like bragging rights. So we're either going to see Drew McIntyre complain for another 6 months if he loses, or I don't even know what he does when he wins because I've never. The only time
he's
I saw him
going to
win,
complain anyway.
Yeah, he lost the Money in the Bank and then complained anyways. So
yeah,
but what a junk show there. I think that Gunther versus Damian Priest match will be a good one. They've definitely got some beef. I'm a little bit worried for Damian Priest because, his most recent match was against Drew McIntyre. And Gunther's definitely a couple steps up from Drew McIntyre. But I also thought.
No, I think. Sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I wasn't saying anything else important. I was just saying I thought like Ludwig was Gunther's little buddy, but I haven't seen Ludwig in a while, so I don't really know what's going on there. But go on.
I do think Damian Priest destroyed Drew McIntyre. Like the only reason it got so close was because his ankle was like, if it wasn't broken, it was like barely hanging on, since the beginning of the match. Which I mean is technically his fault, but it was kind of like I've never seen that before. It was kind of just like a freak.
Yeah,
accident.
that was a crazy thing.
But even with that happening, he still beat him.
Yeah.
Like if that happened to Drew McIntyre, he would just complain about it.
Yeah, there's no way he's finishing that match.
Yeah.
Probably, but we wouldn't hear the end of it. But yeah, I mean, that was sort of a freak thing. I heard that the ropes at that live event weren't the greatest, but you can't make a mistake like that against Gunther. So that'll be a big match for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't. What else did I want to talk about? I think we covered everything.
There's the whole Dirty Dom drama that's been.
Oh yeah.
They're dragging it out a little bit. I know that Liv Morgan's gonna be fighting Mommy at SummerSlam, but like it's kind of the same thing a little bit where they just kind of come out into the ring and yell at people. So, I mean, I get Liv Morgan's kind of like in hiding a little bit. I would be too if Rhea Ripley was pissed off at me like that. But yeah, I mean, I'm a little bit more worried for Liv Morgan and what's going to happen to her at SummerSlam.
Yeah. I do feel kind of bad for Liv Morgan because you can tell, she really likes Dirty Dom, but Liv, if you're watching this, I just want to say like, you don't need Dirty Dom. If you are looking for, somebody, feel free to hit me up on Instagram or TikTok or something, and maybe we could get to know each other.
Yeah, I think it's a tough situation she finds herself in because she's going after a dude who clearly, he's locked down by Mommy, and she wants something she can't have. So it's tough, and there are a lot of eligible bachelors out there, So I hope she finds what she's looking for.
Yeah, I could definitely be like her, stretching partner before a match or something like that.
Yeah, we did do a lot of stretching at Pomona. We had Jundin lead us in stretches a lot, so we know a lot of good stretches. So
yeah,
maybe DJ Big Unknown can connect with Liv Morgan and just get her ready for that SummerSlam match.
Yeah, well, I'm excited to see that match. I'm excited to see Cody versus Solo, Gunther versus Damian Priest, and then Braun Breaker is fighting Sami Zayn again, even though they just did that. I don't know why they're doing that.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm like. The scheduling is getting a little bit repetitive. Like the same people keep kind of fighting the same people, but that's what happens when every match gets like disrupted. Nothing ever gets resolved. And so
yeah,
that was a cool match at the end last night though. Sami Zayn and Jey Uso versus Judgment Day.
Yeah, and I like it shows how much the fans really like Jey Uso and Sami Zayn because they're able to come in through that crowd with like pretty much no security guarding. Like I'm sure there were security, but like they're a joke at this point. Like
yeah.
If someone like Chad Gable came walking in through the crowd, he would not make it to the ring. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. It's cool to see. And everyone's doing the yeet, but everyone's being respectful. Yeah, we cannot. Even in the U.S., we can't have Chad Gable doing that, and he's a former Olympian. So at any of these live events where we go abroad, we got to keep Chad Gable far away from the audience. I still don't understand why we even send him over to the countries at this point. But he also hasn't fought in a couple of weeks. All he does is, get attacked by these hackers at this point. So
Yeah.
maybe he'll fight one of them at some point. I don't really know, but
I still don't know what the hell these hackers are trying to do. Do they even want to fight anybody, or are they there to just be creepy and dress up like animals and scare people?
yeah. What's the leader's name? I forget his name now.
Uncle Howdy.
Yeah, the main guy that was on Cowdy came out last week, and the Creed brothers like jumped him and beat him up, and then they kind of just like let that happen, and the rest of the hackers showed up, and they just sat in the middle of the ring with like a lantern, and then that was it. And I was like, if you're like trying to like do something in the WWE, you got to fight. Like you can't just get beat up and then show up and do whatever the heck they do. Like they still haven't even fought anyone. They just try to scare people. He did one move against Chad Gable last night. Maybe he can only do moves when he has his mask on for some reason. But
yeah, it's weird. I mean, that move that he did hit on Chad Gable was pretty insane, though. Like,
yeah, it was sick.
That was crazy.
I was not expecting that. That was cool. But yeah, I hope they get in a real match because there's not a ton of like people that wear masks and fight nowadays besides Rey Mysterio. So it'd be cool to see the hackers or the Uncouty crew get in an actual match. And it seems like they're like all like Adam Pearce is totally cool with them just hanging out. So at this point, get him in a match. Let's see something new.
Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited to see the Creed brothers in action, and I'm glad that they're with Chad Gable because I mean, he's kind of a bad role model, but he seems to be a lot. He can't really push around the Creed brothers like he did with Otis and Tozawa. So I don't think. I mean, the Creed brothers are good on their own, so they're not really going to let that slide if Chad Gable tries to do that with them. But I think that, Chad Gable, whether you like him or not, he has a lot of great wrestling expertise that he can teach the Creed brothers. And if he ever gets a little too pushy, they can just leave. So I think it is a good team up for everyone in that group.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's a great coach. It's just when things go bad, he's kind of a dick. And we've seen him, cause problems in other countries and obviously piss off Otis. But I do agree that I think if he's a dick to the Creed brothers, they could just kind of beat him up. And that's that. So not as worried about it. So I think that's a good situation. And I thought Otis looked really good in that match. Fortunately, Xavier Woods kind of let them down a little bit. He's kind of in no man's land right now. They keep fighting that big stupid guy. I don't remember his name. I hate those dudes.
Karrion Kross and
Karrion Kross,
the Authors of Pain.
The Authors of Pain. Those dudes are annoying. Like no one.
Yeah, I don't get what they're doing.
He just beats up Xavier Woods and Kofi every week, and I'm like, this is boring.
I don't get what they're called, the Final Testament. I don't get what they're supposed to be. Like they're trying to be like this scary group or something, but meanwhile there's a group in the WWE that like actually kills people and is actually scary. So it just kind of seems like they're like trying to be scary, but they're not actually scary, and it just makes them look stupid. And I don't know who that old guy is who follows them around. Like I have no idea what's going on with them.
No, they're just like the hackers, but like if the hackers only had like $20 in their budget, because their whole walkout is just like black and white instead of like turning all the lights off and actually doing something cool. And then they just challenge and beat up Kofi and Xavier Woods every week. It's like fight someone real, or like do something else, because like no one's scared of you.
I don't want to see them fight anyone. I'm tired of it.
Yeah, fight Ilya Dragunov. That would be the snoozer match of the year.
Yeah. What else is going on? Brock Purdy and the Beatbox Girls are still teamed up, but they're not doing very good.
No,
they're fighting like that random group. I don't know why they're fighting each other again, but I don't know what's going on there.
The whole women's division in Raw is kind of a nightmare right now outside of Liv Morgan and Mommy. Like, what's that girl's name who won with like a broken arm? Selena Vega.
She broke. Oh yeah, Selena Vega.
She fought with like a cast on her arm last night and won. Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
She's friends with like Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, I guess it was kind of a smart move because that's how she won. She like hit her with her cast, but like it's a bit of a cop out a little bit. It's something Drew McIntyre would do. It's like fight with a cast and then complain about it when he loses. But at least she won. You know, that was kind of impressive, I guess. But it's like not a real injury if you can win a match with a huge cast on your arm. You know.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Oh, actually, there was one more video I wanted to show. We had a viewer reach out to us on X and asked us when we're gonna react to. I think it's called Medieval Fighting or something like that. So yeah. I believe I downloaded a video of this somewhere. But bear with me for a second. But yeah, if anyone has any videos or like requests or feedback for our show, be sure to tweet or reach out to us on X or whatever it's called, and we'd love to talk about it. But where the heck is this thing?
Here, I have something real quick. I'll share. Let me see if that worked. Yeah. I don't know if you can see that right now. But
oh yeah, I was going to talk about this. I forgot.
Yeah, I just saw that on Twitter. But yeah, Cody Rhodes is linking up with Joe Burrow. It's a pretty sweet pick there with the belt and the neck tat. So stop that.
Yeah, what is going on with Joe Burrow right now? Like, why is he trying to become why is he trying to become Cody Rhodes?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting for sure. He gets hurt every season, and you know, this past off season he was talking about like, oh, people are forgetting about me, like people are forgetting about how good I am, and it's like, no, like you just get hurt every year. So now I guess he's trying to finish his story, I guess. But that's
okay.
I don't
because
really
I saw a video of him a couple weeks ago in a fashion show wearing like a shirt with like no. Did you see that?
Yeah, no, that was bizarre.
So I don't know what's going on with Joe Burrow, but I know that the 49ers are going to get revenge on the Bengals this year, and I'll be excited to see them go down.
Yeah, that would be a fun Super Bowl, and I think I would definitely take the Niners in that one. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if Cody Rhodes is really the person I would want to mirror my career after if I'm in the NFL, you know, because he kind of got carried to his championship a little bit, and now he's kind of been getting destroyed lately. So
yeah, well, it's different because football is a team sport.
Yeah, but if you're the quarterback, I think you want to be more like Roman Reigns, you know, because Cody had all these random people that showed up to help him, like not really his teammates, and now his team's kind of getting smoked by the bloodline again. So,
yeah, it's like you're the champion, but like at what cost? Do you really deserve it? Do you really feel like a champion?
Yeah. Maybe Joe Burrow is going to become a prime athlete next. That wouldn't shock me.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, that would be a smart move. We know Patrick Mahomes just did, so.
Yeah. All right, what was that?
All right, well, let's get into that video, and then I need to head out soon, but
yeah.
Wow. Oh, that looks like Ilya Dragunov last night.
Wow.
Yeah, well, I think that's a pretty cool fighting league that they got going on there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, with the way that the WWE security team has been recently, I'm surprised one of the fighters hasn't tried to show up with something like that. You know, I wouldn't be shocked if they would just let you show up with a full shield and sword and beat the heck out of your opponent, because there's clearly no security going on in the WWE right now. And maybe that's what Drew McIntyre needs. I know Seth Rollins is going to be the ref at SummerSlam. I know he probably doesn't know all the rules, and Drew McIntyre has a bit of a history because he's from Scotland, so I'm sure he had some knights or warriors in his family back in the day. So maybe that's what it'll take for Drew McIntyre to finally get a win in the WWE, is using a shield and a sword and some armor.
Yeah, I know he hasn't done it as much recently, but he always walks in with his sword during his entrance. And it's like, what are you going to do with that thing, bro? But I know it's like, it's part of his culture. It's cool. I mean, swords are cool. I mean, I wish every superstar walked in with a sword. That would be cool. But I definitely think, I would want to see honestly, maybe that's how Drew McIntyre and CM Punk could fight in, full armor with weapons and stuff. I think that would be pretty entertaining to watch.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Drew McIntyre's got the prop for it at least. And yeah, with Seth Rollins as the ref, you never know what's going to be allowed and what's not going to be allowed. So I would at least keep that sword on standby. It could be a real game changer.
He is. I think they said that next week they're going to go over like the terms of the match with Seth Rollins, and he is a visionary and a revolutionary, and I don't know what the third thing was, but I think we could see some weird or interesting rules with this match, possibly something we've never seen before.
Yeah. No, I think swords are a real possibility. I don't know where we draw the line here, but if they're really trying to prove who the toughest is and who needs to challenge next for the heavyweight championship, you can't just have a normal match. So there's got to be some sort of twists in there.
Yeah. All right. Well, I gotta go soon. It's getting pretty late here on the East Coast, but we do have a couple announcements for the gaming world of WWE. So, for Call of Duty, we have the WWE DLC coming out tomorrow, I believe, or it might be out now since it's already Wednesday on the East Coast. So that's going to include Rhea Ripley skin, a Rey Mysterio skin, and a Cody Rhodes skin. And then next week, they're also releasing a new game mode inspired by WWE that's going to have Pat McAfee commentating in the game. And I think it'll be, I honestly don't play much Call of Duty, so I don't have that many details, but that's all I know right now. And we'll probably try it out, maybe show some clips on the episode next week.
Yeah.
And then other big news is next week, the Pat McAfee DLC is coming out for NBA 2K, or not NBA, for WWE 2K. And it's a bit controversial. Some people are mad that Pat McAfee and all his buddies are going to be in the game, but he is an ambassador of the WWE, and he's also a great fighter, as we've seen. But yeah, sorry. What were you going to say?
I was just going to say it's exciting. Yeah, that the WWE is getting into the Call of Duty fan base, because I know there's a ton of people who love Call of Duty, and it's pretty cool that there's going to be a couple skins. I would probably use the Rey Mysterio skin if I had to pick. I don't know if it's Rey Mysterio now or back when he was in his prime, but he's definitely someone who can fly around, very mobile. So that'd be a cool skin. And yeah, we'll have to check it out and show some clips next week of both the new DLC in Call of Duty and in WWE 2K, because we do enjoy video games here on Chokeslam Radio.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for watching another great episode of Chokeslam Radio. This one will definitely go down in the Chokeslam history books. Yeah. Any final words?
No, I mean, we've talked about it throughout the episode, but huge shout out to H00pify for coming on, for being a special guest, and for providing us with that great insight. And we hope to feature more special guests like that in the future. Chokeslam Radio is growing, and
I want to get Big AJ on the show.
Yeah. I actually didn't know that he was a former wrestler, so that's super interesting, and I would love to talk to him about that.
Yeah, but if any of our viewers, we know R-Truth likes to watch, but any of you guys want to tune in for a future episode or join us on a future episode, we want to get more guests like this every week. So yeah. All right. Well, make sure to subscribe, share our show with everyone you know. And also listen to the podcast on all the different podcast apps if you didn't watch live. And yeah, we'll see you next week.
Yeah. Chokeslam that like button.
Thank you for joining us on this bone-chilling journey through the world of WWE. Join us next time on your favorite podcast app or live Tuesday nights on YouTube, Instagram, and X. As the final bell tolls, remember to stay tuned for more spine-tingling tales from the crypt. Chokeslam that button and subscribe. Check out SROTU.org and TRW15 on YouTube, or else. Until next time, may the power of the dead man be with you. Rest in